Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a super awesome game, or at least I hope it's going to be, between Grubby and Servyoa. Yeah, that's what I'll call him. Servyoa is the red Terran player in the bottom right position, and Grubby is the blue Protoss in the top left. So we have got a PvT, which is one of the least represented matchups on my channel, so that's always good. And I must apologise, I haven't got enough casts up this week. I have been super hectic because I now cast the Antec Attack tournament every Wednesday from, well, it's from about 6:30 PM British time onwards, and you get some really cool players. I mean, this week at number 15 there was Aces Nurtio, there was Dragon, there's a couple of other kind of quite high end up people in there, so definitely good enough. Also Tails there, so seriously go and check out Antec Attack on a Wednesday night if you can tune in. It's awesome. I do it through DE Sports, so yeah, just go and check that out. Anyway, what can we be expecting from this? Well, obviously this map, you've got quite a narrow entrance to your natural, so it's not too hard to take a natural base. We could always see Servyoa going for a 1-1-1 type build against Grubby. Grubby is obviously going to be a bit worried about that. This is just a ladder game, so it's just a one-off game. Both these players are Grandmaster level players, so really top notch, top 200 on their servers, so always good. Grubby there just grabbing a gas at a fairly standard time, so nothing too crazy going on from either player. A second gas though coming out early from Grubby, so that's saying that there's probably going to be some tech coming out, which of course is brilliant because tech play is always a bit interesting, but it does mean that if Servyoa does hold it off, then he will be in a good stage to go forward. He hasn't taken either of his gas yet, so it's looking like he could be going for something a bit more mineral heavy. He's also got a lot of minerals banked up. He's taking he just clicked down by this expansion, so he could be going for something really early on, but that'd be a bit crazy to be honest, getting the expansion straight off. But he's sending this SCV down here, so are we going to see an expansion? I almost guarantee we will now, and that is super exciting times, because that means this game could be going on a bit longer. Meanwhile, Grubby has got 2 probes in each gas geyser, so not quite fully saturated there, but he does however have near full saturation on his mineral patches, so again just a nice little trick. It's probably slightly better than having 3 on 1 and or whatever, but again, that's just a minor trick which really separates the top-notch players from really everyone else. Here comes a chrono-boosted Stalker out just to deal with a scouting scouting SCV, because of course the one thing Grubby doesn't want is Servyoa finding out about this double gas, which of course he has already scouted. So really Servyoa does now know that some kind of tech play is coming in. He's just cancelled a bunker which was a bit too far forward and actually just moved it back slightly. So again, that's just good in some ways because it just allows him to use that choke a bit better, does defend this base a bit more as well. So it'll be interesting to see what does come down. A barracks and 2 gas coming out for Servyoa here, and really meanwhile we've got warp gate tech coming out for Grubby, and he's getting down his nexus. So I have to say, Grubby with these 2 gas isn't doing anything too techy at the moment. He's getting out a sentry, which of course is just quite a good move. But here we go, here comes some tech. There goes down the Robo Bay. So Grubby using these 2 gas very nicely, and really what is he going to do with that? He's got his natural base up, so this isn't going to be an all-in or anything. This Stalker just patrolling around, just checking for any kind of proxy barracks or anything crazy like that, trying to find that scouting SCV. We'll bump into it here, so Servyoa will now have a tough time getting that away. But with the use of the tall grass there, he will get away, because I mean, tall grass, I mean, an advanced alien species which can travel across the galaxy can't possibly see something through tall grass. God no, that'd be crazy. Anyway, what is going on at Servyoa's base? Well, he's getting that tech lab up on the barracks, so it'll be interesting to see what he gets out of that. Getting a Marauder at the moment, and a Stim just coming up on that tech lab there. Meanwhile, a Reactor on the other barracks, so we're going to see pure infantry, which is to be expected. Meanwhile, Observer on the way out here for Grubby. For those of you who don't know, the latest patch is coming in at the next scheduled maintenance, which means that, well, the only changes is there's no changes for Terran, but for Protoss they get Observers 10 seconds quicker, which is quite significant actually. And also for Zerg there are Queens have now 5 range, so that's going to be pretty fun. And also Overlords are naturally faster moving, which is again pretty interesting. So it'll be interesting to see just how that does affect him. I realise I just said interesting about 10 times in a row, but it's really interesting, guys. Anyway, so if we take a look down here outside Servyoa's base, he is moving out a bit now, but this observer is going to see everything. He's going to see that moving out. That stalker at the watchtower as well. Grubby just in an amazing position, but he is supply blocked temporarily, which isn't ideal, but he's got that immortal coming out, and that immortal is going to be critical. It's going to allow him to really easily deal with the 2 marauders now. And because of that, Servyoa, it looks like he's just going to turn around and tailgate it back home, or maybe just wait for reinforcements, which again isn't too bad. He's getting up his 4th gas there, adding on a factory as well. Now it'll be interesting to see if he uses that factory or just switches over to a medevac production, as I think he will, because that's what you do when you're playing a TVP and you've gone infantry heavy. Stim is about 3/4 done, plus 1 infantry attack is half done as well. Meanwhile, Grubby getting up a double forge up here, so that's going to be proper nice, because, well, double upgrades is always good. It will allow him to catch up with that +1 that Servyoa is getting there. Here comes down the starport, the reactor on the factory. So as I thought, Servyoa is going to switch those over for double medevac production initially. It'll also allow him to get Vikings if this robotics facility does get a robo bay somewhere, and obviously Colossi come out, and he rapidly needs Vikings to deal with those. Meanwhile, Grubby taking out those rocks to the 3rd, so indicating that he may want to take his 3rd base relatively soon. Meanwhile, Servyoa just taken his own 3rd base there, so again, this is going to be going into a bit of a longer game, which is always nice, or at least it would appear that way. But we will see Servyoa. Stim has just finished up. He's got combat shield about a quarter done. He's just finished +1, so he could go for some kind of timing move out there to try and deal with Grubby, deal a bit of damage. But Grubby, on the other hand, is getting those double upgrades, chrono boosted out both, and there goes a money scan. We'll see everything, but we'll just see extra gateways being added. So that will actually take Grubby up to 5 gates with 1 robo, but it does scout the double forge with the chrono boosted upgrades. Now we will see a factory coming out to scout, because why not just scout with a factory? It's not like Servyoa is going to use it, and Servyoa is just such a hard word to say. You would not believe how difficult that can be. But that is beside the point. A Twilight Council coming out for Grubby here. Meanwhile, the armory is on its way, and so is a 2nd engineering bay for Servyoa. So Servyoa, because he saw those double upgrades coming out for Grubby, he wants to get he wants to get in on that action, because double upgrades are sweet. His 3rd base is about to finish, so that'll be good. What is the work count looking like? Well, Servyoa is currently behind by 7 drones. Or 7 workers rather. I say drones just come as Zerg, but I'm so used to that. Terrible of me, I know. But still, we will just see that Grubby is actually being forced back at the moment, but he has got this pylon down here. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that. This 1 zealot bravely marching forward, and actually there's very little there for Servyoa, so this could get an SCV kill, which would be brilliant for Grubby, because, well, any free units are fantastic. But no, it's Stim coming over here with a Marauder and 2 Marines. They're not going to go anywhere, but the Mule is getting targeted, and oh, that was so close, 6 HP. If that had gone down, that would have been a huge win for Grubby, because there's a lot of minerals prevented from Servyoa. Meanwhile, the 1-2 upgrades, +1 armor about to finish up for Servyoa, as well as +2 attack is about a quarter done. Meanwhile, Grubby already started his way on 2-2, getting charged for his zealots. He's also got this Templar archive, so high Templar on Archons could be coming out very soon. 3 more gateways being added on. That takes him up to 6 7 8. 8 gateways and a robo. Still no sign of Colossi tech. So no robo bay as of yet, as far as I'm aware. Storm being researched, and that Storm is just going to be able to deal with this infantry ball. Obviously the High Templars brilliant, because they can feed back the medevac, preventing the healing as well. 5 High Templars coming out, and now this observer is seeing literally everything. That 1 zealot is going to get picked off. Meanwhile, in terms of bases, Grubby's own 3rd is about a 3rd done, but obviously Servyoa, he has Servyoa. Servyoa, what do I keep saying? Servyoa. Servyoa, his own 3rd, is at about, well, it's up and running. So that's obviously an economic advantage there. Servyoa is looking like Servyoa. What is up with me? I can't seem to say this right. It's like 12:30 AM, so do bear with me. But no, Servyoa is just kind of keeping Grubby pinned back. He's keeping that map control, which is essential. Grubby does have this 1 watchtower though, so can see Servyoa's movements as and when he does go for it. And Now, really, what is his factory doing? He's going to poke forward. A sentry won't take out a factory anytime soon. Grubby's third base is up and running here. He's warping in some more zealots. He's got quite a zealot heavy army. He's got five high Templars, so that's quite a lot of storms. They're building up energy nicely, but here come out some ghosts. The personal cloaking field is coming out as well, so Servyoa could be going for some big EMPs, which against those High Templar would be huge. So it'll be interesting to see if that does play out. Meanwhile, Servyoa is just keeping some units back to be defensive. Grubby has to start doing something. He's building up quite a nice army. And obviously this could get to a situation where both players are nearing max. They could both max out. One Archon has been morphed in, and I like that choice because that just gives him something to nicely deal with the medevacs. And also Archons are just pretty good anyway. They don't take bonus damage from Marauders because obviously they aren't armoured. And generally they just do really, really nicely. Hardly any Stalkers in this composition though, mainly just kind of Immortal Zealot with a couple of Sentries and High Templars, so a good composition. And it looks like the two armies are actually just going to completely miss themselves, but Grubby is 2 on the ball here. His Observer saw absolutely everything, and now really Servyoa is just going to poke up and just see what he can do. But here comes Grubby trying to cut him off, and we could see a big engagement here, but Grubby chickens out at the last minute. I say chickens out, it's probably the best move pulling back because he was not at the best angle, and obviously those ghosts had just come in. 3-3 has just started up now for Grubby. Meanwhile, +3 attack is on the way for Servyoa, but no +3 armor as of yet. More ghosts in production. A 4th base is being produced down here. That'll float down to this position. Meanwhile, that factory may eventually die now, which would be terrible, of course, to the factory. And does Servyoa actually have another one? Because if he doesn't, he can't actually build anything more. Now, this double Ghost Academy is saying to me nukes could be on there, and that would just be brilliant fun. But here we go, we've got a bit of an engagement coming in. Some force fields go off, a couple of free infantry units here, but those zealots are now blocked off from most of Servyoa's army. But there goes down the money storms. Huge storms from these High Templar at the side. They do get picked off, but not before they do a huge amount of damage, and that is just brilliant, brilliant work there by Grubby. And really, he's just now starting to take that lead in the supply account. That warping doing a lot in terms of getting his supply back up in a good advantageous position. But here come out some Vikings, almost expecting Colossi, but there aren't any out. I don't even think there's a Robo Bay on the field as of yet. No, there's just an insane amount of gateways. The 4th base coming out for Grubby there. That factory does still see everything. The 4th base just finished up there for Servyoa, and now Grubby just marching up. No, the depots are up. The depots are down, rather. So Grubby just got to run straight in there, but deciding to pull back, and he just doesn't feel like he's got enough units to quite deal with it yet. But here comes all of the zealots. A big storm goes down, and all of that Terran infantry army walking into that storm, just standing in there. Servyoa, you've got to get out of that. So many Marines did go down there. The medevac energy being wasted ever so badly by just having to heal up the damage Storm does. Now we will see that zealots are running in here. Grubby's just doing a massive multi-prong attack, just pushing in everywhere, dealing damage if and when he can, and really it's paying off really well. And currently 3-3 is about to finish up for Grubby, so he's probably going to wait until that's done before he goes for anything big. Some more Immortals are on the way. Meanwhile, +3 Terran infantry armor is about to finish up. Another command center is down. It's being morphed into an orbital. Could have done with being a planetary just to help with the defense here, because currently Servyoa is being split up and is just getting dismantled systematically by Grubby. It's almost surgical. And meanwhile, Grubby, he secured his own 4th base. Servyoa hasn't. Servyoa obviously needs to just take this down ASAP, just so he does have something there. Sorry for the misclick there. More gateways being on for Grubby here. Now, how many does this actually take him to? Well, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 gateways. So Grubby wants to be able to warp in basically a whole army at once. I think that's going to be his aim this game, and who can blame him? That'd be pretty good. And here we go, seeing these gateways and just how deadly they can be. This big warp in of zealots and also High Templar from this forward pylon. There's this Archon sitting here. Not quite sure why that's just sitting there perfectly happily, but is going to join in this little expedition force and is out of the way, and Servyoa does not know that's there. So if Servyoa does decide to move out, then well, he is going to have some big issues, and all of Grubby's army has managed to kite his way around. Meanwhile, a drop is going down though for Servyoa. Those probes are getting picked off. Some zealots are getting in, and well, they should be able to clean it up. But meanwhile, Grubby is just going in with all of his force. He's going to dismantle this 3rd base of Servyoa, and one command center is already down. Both are on fire, so Really, there's no position for them to come in for repair, and that is going to put Servyoa down a base. But obviously he has taken this one now, but Zealot has seen it. Now meanwhile, some massive storms going off on the Cloak Banshees. Cloak Ghosts, what am I even on about? And that is going to force Grubby back. And to anyone watching, this is why you don't cast games this late after being awake for so long, because you just start calling ghosts Banshees. Now the thought of invisible flying ghosts is something that should make every Protoss player shudder. But that's beside the point. Meanwhile, we see Chrono Boost coming out. We've even got shield upgrades coming out here for Grubby. That's how long this game is going on and how awesome it's going at the moment. And both players are really doing a top notch. Nukes are on the way. So if we start seeing some nukage, that will make me happy. I really haven't had a look here. 34 workers killed by Grubby to 13 of Servyoa, and Servyoa is really, if he loses his base, he's going to be in huge problems, but I just can't see him being able to get in position in time. That base just gets completely annihilated. Some big storms go down, but the Zealots walking through it themselves. A scan goes off just to see what Grubby does have. He does have the supply advantage, but with a great stim forward, Servyoa is going to be able to pick off a couple of units, but the rest of Grubby's army will make it out alive. Meanwhile, a scan goes off just to see what has Grubby got. A lot of Archons being morphed in, but so are a lot of High Templar. There are 9 there. And really that's going to be a lot of storms if they do get the energy for it. And really, what else can Grubby do? Well, he's maxed out, he's getting the shield upgrades, because who wouldn't? Now there is a nuke coming down. Where is this nuke? Where is it? Here we go. It's just right in the middle. Where is even the ghost? There it is. There's one hidden ghost, amazingly camouflaged, but does get taken out nearly instantly by those Zealots. And really, Grubby now is just doing exactly the right thing, getting more observers out. Meanwhile, Servyoa, he's lost his 4th base. He's retaken his 3rd, but his income is struggling. He's nearly mined out as his natural base, and here comes Grubby in. Grubby obviously on 4 bases, very, very happy. Some huge storm go off on absolutely everything. Some snipes do try to go off, but just look at how much damage those storms do. It is insane. Grubby is still being forced back though. He's going to lose another sentry, which of course is never the best thing in the world. +2 shields is about to finish up for Grubby, and that hockey is doing my head in. I fiddle with my hockey setup, and obviously I've done something wrong. Now, really, what else can Grubby do now? Well, he's maxed out. He's getting all of the upgrades he can. +2 shields has just finished. Meanwhile, Servyoa, he's got so much supply in Vikings, but there's no Colossi on the field. Almost blindly going for a lot of Vikings, which are essentially completely useless at the moment. Grubby has nothing in the air. He is a completely ground-based force, and it's working well. He's keeping his feet on the ground, so to speak, very, very nicely. Checking for this 4th base again, because obviously he knows if that isn't up, then Servyoa is in big problems economically. He knows this base is down because he's got that pylon there. Grubby taking his 5th now, and Grubby is just in such an amazing economic position. He's adding on 7 more gateways. So I don't even want to estimate how many gateways he's on now without counting them up, and I don't want to count them up because there's just so many. Grubby's in a position where he can literally just trade with this army. It doesn't even have to be cost effectively. He can just attack this army and deal as much damage as he can, and then just instantly remax with just all of these gateways. How many does he have? Well, let's just have a quick look, shall we? We've got lots and lots. Well, 8, 16, a lot. He has got an awful lot of gateways. So Grubby's in a good spot here. Now those Vikings are being taken off. Obviously the ghosts are the main concern here for Grubby. There's just so many. The snipes are going to be good. And I mean obviously snipe does bonus damage against psionic units. So well, these immortals, Archons rather, aren't going to be in a too happy position. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of damage coming down here. Some cannons trying to get built. Really, Grubby just trying to spend some of this trust fund he's got. But it does mean that Servyoa is going to be able to take that. But it does look like Grubby's going to try and get a good position. But Mass Cloak Ghost, counter everything. If you can snipe that much, why wouldn't it? Now, Grubby is just trying to pick off unit after unit, and he doesn't have to worry about being too cost effective here. He's just got so much money. Grubby's got his 5th base up and running now. He can just sack some units, do any damage he can, just to prevent Servyoa from getting up a decent sized army. And then Grubby, well, he just remaxes. Now we will see +3 Terran ship weapons coming out now. So that just means that if Colossi do come out onto the field, then they're just going to get annihilated. So the downside, of course, though, to that is that Servyoa has got, well, 8, 9, 10 Vikings there. So here we go, a big engagement. This 4th base trying to get taken out again, and this is exactly what Grubby needs to do. It doesn't matter if he has a cost ineffective engagement, because frankly he can just instantly remax, getting 10, 12, 15 more zealots out on the field, just nearly instantly getting units back, defensive storm goes down, just preventing Servyoa's army moving forward. But the key thing here is Servyoa, he's mined out at his third pretty much. He's got nothing at his main or natural. Even the gas at his main is mined out now. So really, Grubby's in the money. He has mined out his natural, but he's got 3 mining bases compared to 0 of Servyoa. Now, there is a nuke coming down. Where is it? I can hear it, but I can't see it. So somewhere there is a nuke. And it always does my head in. I wish there was a way for people watching a replay could see where nukes were going down. Unless there is and I'm just incompetent. But no, alas, the nuke was occurring. But who knows where. Anyway, +3 ship weapons about half done, so Grubby would be crazy to switch into Colossi at the moment, but he has got +3 shields about finished up, so Grubby's ground army is about to be completely maxed out. But here we go, Servyoa is going to go and try and take out this 5th base of Grubby. This could be a bold move. There are so many High Templars here. A storm goes down and a couple of Marines get very low. Grubby is looking like he just wants to sack it actually, which is quite an unusual decision. Or he's actually just waiting for Servyoa to get into a good position. Here comes down the money storms, just look at all, but huge EMPs go down on literally everything. Those Archon shields get taken out nearly instantly. So did the Immortal shield, and just look at the damage being done everywhere. And it actually looks like Servyoa is going to come out better here, just because of the Ghost doing so much damage, the EMPs being so effective. But obviously Grubby just massively resupplies nearly instantly. He's still got some money in the bank, so much gas as well. Those Ghosts don't have energy, and I think this is pretty much going to be GG, because Grubby's going to be able to clean this out, and Servyoa just doesn't have the income. Meanwhile, we will see that Grubby is taking his own 5th base down at the bottom, and really what can Servyoa do? Not much at all, and there is the GG. So, thank you very much for watching, and please tune in again, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Thank you very much.